Today we're going to talk about Shaw's Ridge Equipment and Supply. I just finished this the other day. I posted some pictures up on Facebook and other places, but here's what it looks like. You'll notice the pictures that I posted have detail on it. I didn't have them secured, but here's a little close-up right here of some of the detail there on the doors and wrong side. This one right here. But I'm going to show you how I put this thing together. I got a removable lid on it, and I have lighting, so you can see I have the lighting inside a straw. And then also I could take this off the base. I put some supports in there so I could guide it right in where I want it. And the wiring is right there. I got the hole there for the wiring. And also, you'll notice that I put a little, let's see if we can get it here, a little hole right here. So when you're looking in with the lights on through the garage door, you'll be able to see the lights in there. Otherwise, you know, it was just a solid wall. You wouldn't have been able to see it. And I scenic this. I did this really quick, and I did it a little bit different than I normally would. And let me show you what I did. I just took the diluted glue, and you can see the scenic areas, and I marked off the area where the building was, and I just spread the glue on there with a little pipette, and then spread it out with my finger, and then sprinkled the stuff on there with a spoon and other things, and just layered it up like that. And after that, you might be able to see back here in that spray bottle, I have some alcohol, and to get a little bit thicker, I put some alcohol in it. But I used some cardstock when I had the building on there, so I went and get it on the building and hit it with alcohol and put some more glue up on top of it, like you would normally do with ballast and stuff like that. So there's that right there. And I put a base coat of camouflage, and that's the same color that I used as for the walls, and not for there. Okay. Ooh. Don't destroy it. But what I did afterwards was I put a solution of India ink and 91% alcohol. Now, don't ask me what the solution was, because I've had this bottle for a long time. And at one time I had measured it out precisely, and I had a couple of different bottles, but this is the only bottle that I have left. And this is an old vitamin bottle, and this works really good because this is the one that lasted the longest. So it's diluted. I started out, I can't even tell you where, but what you have to do when you're mixing this is just test it out, and test it out on a paper towel here to see how dark it is. Now that's pretty dark right there, but you might want it a little bit lighter. And on my next kit, I'm going to add a little bit more alcohol to it so it's not that dark, so it doesn't go on as dark. I'll have to put more on there. The roof, the color for the roof is the darker tan of the camouflage, and the windows is titanium white. No, oyster white. Sorry. Oyster white. Available at Michael's. I didn't use that one. Some of the black in here, like on the roof over here and the trim, I used indigo. The titanium white, I did a dry brushing of the roof. You can see, you know, streaks of white there, and on the other pieces of roof was the titanium. The burlap is the doors right here. The door panels, and all the rest of this is the oyster white. Okay, this is all India ink right up here, and this is on the skylights is also India ink. And what I did on the base, on the roof part, before I put the skylight in, I darkened it with indigo. And these roof panels here for the corrugated roof, this is paper. Bar Mills uses paper. The rattle cans that I used, this was the walls. This was the main roof. Get them in Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware. And brushed metallic, that was the corrugated siding. And I didn't realize it, but that works pretty good on there. I used to brush it on with silver, but it worked pretty good. And then you cover it up with the powders. But anyway, I used the powder pigments, medium rust, to get the rust effect on it. And is there any other colors on here? I guess that's all the colors. But anyway, I used a 40,000 styrene sheet to separate the floors on there. And I put a couple of my own signs in there from another kit. I think this was from a Foss scale kit. And this one right here, you could purchase those, and Shady Side Press, HO billboards and signs from the 40s and 50s. Okay, I'm not sure where I got it, but probably at a train show somewhere. If not, at a hobby shop. But I did the other signage just like I did on the last one. It's real simple. And the only other thing I want to show you here is, if you'll notice, okay, we'll take a close look right here, get over here, and the door handles for that door and the garage doors, you can see right here and right there. That is soldered red round copper magnet wire right there. What gauge is that? Okay, 30 gauge. So, and that's how thin it is right there. And on some of these doors right here where it was layered, I had to use I think a number 76 pin vise to drill through it, because they didn't line up exactly. So I had to make sure the holes lined up. But that's about everything on there. This was a fun kit, and you know, and it's the roof line is like that. It's not square, so that was a little challenging. I had to shave down the corners here, so there was like 4 places right there that I had to shave it down. And also on the top, you'll see that there's trim underneath there. It's 2 pieces, and on this end we had to cut them right there. You can see that right there, and right here. While it was in there, while it was in there. How I did that was I just set it upside down and put it down on the cutting mat and cut it like that. But you got the interior bracing in there. You have to make sure that you leave enough room on the top for the roof. And usually I put it flush to the bottom. Some kits you could do that. Other kits, you can't do that if you're going to mount them on a foundation or something like that. But this had a bump out, and I just put extra bracing in it. Like I put bracing right here behind the doors. It doesn't call for it. It calls for it up on top, but to make it a little bit stiffer right there, I put it in there. And you can see I have bracing on the interior walls right here. And that is, whenever you're putting your primer on there and your coat of paint, that's so it doesn't warp. But I never had a problem with anything warping. You just have to make sure that you don't overdo it with the paint. Put your primer on lightly, and I use the rattle cans, even though I have a couple of air brushes and a compressor here. I prefer the rattle cans because there's no cleanup. With the airbrush, you have to spend more time cleaning it up afterwards, and that takes away the time from modeling. I mean, even though you have to wait for the paint to dry and glue to dry, well, whenever that happens, I work on something else. Like, if I'm working on the walls, then like I was working on these walls, well, whenever stuff is drying on that, you go to a different part and maybe work on these detailed pieces right here, or the windows like that, or the shed or the roof, things like that. You just go from one part to another. So I hope that helps out. I got alcohol in here, and this works a lot better than the spray bottles because it comes out a lot finer, so you don't get big droplets of water when you're spraying. It comes out as a fine mist. So let's put it over this way. I don't know if you can see it like that. It comes out as a real fine mist. So 91% alcohol. I bought this at one time and I didn't like it, and I used it up, but I put Elmer's glue, about 50-50 Elmer's glue and water, to do the scenery. The same way you do with your ballast. When I get this on the layout, I'll hook up the wiring and light it up, and I'll show it to you, and you'll probably see it on a live stream sometime. And let me show you a few of the photos that I took during the build and after it was finished. I hope you enjoyed this build. My next build is Tichy Tool Company. This is an older one. It's also a Bar Mills scale model works, and it's got a lot of detailed parts in it, and it's 2 buildings with a section hooking it up in between. It's going to be a fun kit to build. It'll take a little bit longer because 2 complete buildings and that, plus there's a shed and a billboard on it. So and base, there's a concrete base, there's sidewalks, and a wooden base too, so, or whatever, a lot of stuff, a lot of detail on this kit right here. So look forward to that. I'm going to start on that tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, who knows. But I've been waiting to do this one for a long time, so check it out. That'll be coming. That'll be done in about another week. And I thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. And you can support me over on Locals. I quit Patreon last week and started using Locals instead. The reporting is a little bit better, and it's like a Facebook group. If you support me, you could comment and post your own pictures on the community, and your support helps out. I'll be able to get more kits so I could show you how to do them. So check it out. I'll put the link in the description down there. So until the next time, we'll see you, and have fun. That's the biggest thing. Have fun.